There is a longing amongst the Jewish people to return to Hashem. People are distracted by the fact that we have to make a living and it's a difficult world. There are all kinds of things coming at us. It never stops. And in all the nations that we've lived in the 3,000 years since the time of our king, King David, the 4,000 years from the time of our father Abraham and then his son Yitzchak and Yaakov, the progenitors of the faith that we follow. Through all of this, there are distractions and difficulties. And we are now at war, and people are being hurt. The nation of Israel is threatened. What you're talking about here is the threaten our return to our home. But what's the point of going to our home? Well, the original idea was that Israel was supposed to be a refuge so that Jews could have a country of their own, and then nobody would pick on us anymore. Like, say, they don't pick on each other. We just went through World War I, in the 20th century, World War II, massive, brutal wars, blood everywhere. I don't have to go into all the details. And it's still, the potential for all that is still never went away. But now it's turned to a great extent through different philosophies and isms at us. And how do we find our way out of this? How do we survive? We're reading Dr. Chaim Beinart, and under the most really vicious circumstances, we prospered at times in Europe, amongst bloodthirsty people who really know how to to spill blood. What does it get them? What do they have? Because our lives are short, very short. All the presidents, all the prime ministers, all the important people that you see on the news, all of them will be gone, to be replaced with the same kind of people. It's like you used to see, if you're old enough, Dragnet, it says that the names have been changed to protect the innocent. The people are different people. They're playing the same roles. It doesn't make any difference if you fly jets or you go in wagons. It's the same thing. In the end, we perish. In the end, this world holds nothing for us. So then, how is it in fact that for the last 2,000 years, we've been scattered in Europe in the hands of our murderers and subjected to very low, poor status in the country of our half-brother, the Arabs? 2,000 years we lived like this. Somehow we prospered at times, and somehow we survived. And that was only one avenue for our survival, and that is by making the ultimate connection with God. So we come over here to the great Rabbi YOSEF Chaim MIMRAN. I had a chance to learn with him at one time, years back. He's a man of tremendous energy. I think he's a little more white, a little more gray than he used to be. He has to say like this: where connectedness takes us. What we want to be able to do is to be able to connect ourselves to Hashem Yisbarach. Because Hashem Yisbarach, and may his name be blessed, is eternity. That's what we want to do. We want to connect ourselves to eternity, but we want our feet still on the ground, because we want to bring that eternity into this mess, this world, where we don't live very long, but that we have to take it very seriously. This is not the Garden of Eden. So he writes, what's the way out? There should be no greater goal in a person's life, and we're getting this from Mesilas Yesharim, which is which Mesilas means the path of the people who are straight people. What is the straight path through this world? One should break all obstacles between yourself and your Maker. That's what you need to do, which are all material matters and other related objectives, until he is pulled after his Creator, as a metal bar is pulled to a magnet. Now, that's interesting. Those are the words of the Ramchal, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto. who lived in the 1600s in mostly, I think he's from Italy originally, but he published in Amsterdam. When it happens that a gap occurs in our stream of thought, when we land into a state of no mind, it's possible to experience moments of deep peace. For most people, such gaps in thought happen only rarely, and they happen accidentally at times when the mind is rendered speechless. This may occur when one is triggered by great beauty, or alternatively, by extreme physical exertion, or even by finding oneself in a situation of great danger. At such times, suddenly, there is inner stillness. Surprisingly, within that stillness, there is a subtle but intense joy. There is love. There is peace. Precious moments like this are generally short-lived. This is a short-lived world. For the mind is quick to resume its usual loud, boisterous activity, arguing back and forth, that defending that we call thinking. These feelings of pure love, joy, and peace cannot truly thrive until you have freed yourself of the dominance of your mind. For these feelings are not emotions. They exist on a much deeper level, in a place that lies beyond the emotions. The only way to fully experience the pure feelings that lie beyond the emotions is to first become fully conscious of your emotions and to be able to feel them authentically. Love, joy, and peace are deep states of the neshama. Or we say, what's the neshama? The neshama is the eternity that exists within us, although we are temporary, but the neshama is not. Or more accurately, they are three beautiful aspects of the state of interconnectedness with the neshama. And because their place is deep inside, where the neshama dwells, because they arise from beyond the mind, they are complete as they are. They have no opposites. Now, let's just treat this again. He says these emotions, which are called love, joy, and peace, are deep states of the neshama. And we understand the neshama, once again, is the concept of eternity that exists within us, but is covered over, and he's saying, by our thoughts and our constant struggle to overcome the obstacles of our physical life. But the physical life is a manifestation. There's something inside of it that we need to be able to reach. So he said the states of the neshama are more accurately, they are beautiful aspects of the state of interconnectedness with the neshama. So that is what we need to do, is to be able to connect to our own eternity, because the body won't do it. You have to get back before that. And because their place is deep inside, where the neshama dwells, because they arise from beyond the mind, they are complete as they are. They have no opposites. Now, our concept of opposites is something like when we go back in the brain. The brain is a right brain, a creative brain, and a left brain, and a justice brain. They are opposites. In this way, love, joy, and peace are not at all like emotions, which, similar to the mind that brings them into existence, are of a dualistic nature. And I was describing that. Emotions are subject to the law of opposites. This simply means that behind every emotion lies its opposite. In the world of the mind, there is no good without bad. Thus, when we identify with the mind, we might erroneously think that what we are feeling is joy, but this type of joy is actually the usually short-lived pleasure that is present within the continuously alternating cycle of pain and pleasure. Now, what it says is that there is a right side and a left side, and the world moves like that. The world moves between opposites. What we need to be able to do, and this is what the Kabbalists want to say, I'm not going to say this for myself, I'm reading Rabbi MIMRAN, but it's inspired me to say what we need to do is find the center line. That center line is the truth, the real truth. What is the difference between joy and pleasure? Pleasure is always derived from something that is outside of you, whereas joy arises from within. Because pleasure is external, it is almost inevitable that the very thing that gives you pleasure today will give you pain tomorrow, or that tomorrow you will not have it, and then its absence will cause you pain. Tomorrow may come immediately, or it may come only after a long time. It might happen, for instance, that you finally acquire something that had been wanting for a long time, but then you realize that it's not as wonderful as you thought it would be. And that realization itself will cause you anguish. The item may break, it may get lost or stolen, or taking care of it may prove to be more trouble than it's worth. There are countless ways to be more trouble. There are countless ways that something that gives you pleasure can later lead to pain or disappointment. Joy, real joy, on the other hand, is always there. It's inside of you. It cannot be lost, stolen, or broken. It will never have a change of heart. It will always be there for you. You need only to learn how to access it. That's it. Feelings of pure love, joy, and peace I think it's a misprint, and peace can only thrive, they cannot truly thrive, there we go, until you have freed yourself of the dominance of your mind. Let me read it one more time. Feelings of pure love, joy, and peace can only thrive until you have freed yourself of the dominance of your mind. This is Baruch Fleischman, your Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.